As evacuations continue, hundreds of Bahamians hoping to flee the devastation were told to get off a ferry headed to the United States.
So please, all passengers that don't have U.S. visa, please proceed to disembark.
So this video was taken aboard a ferry leaving the Bahamas. It was posted to social media by a reporter for CNN affiliate WSVN. The announcement, as you can hear there, told evacuees traveling to the U.S. without a visa to disembark. One woman told a reporter that as many as 130 people left the ferry, including families with children. Now, on its website, U.S. Customs and Border Protection says visas are not required for Bahamian residents flying to the United States if they also meet other criteria like a passport and no criminal record. Problem is, the airports in Freeport and Grand Bahama Island, the airport's simply been destroyed, so many people have to take a boat. Florida lawmakers have been pressing President Trump to waive the visa requirements for evacuees.
The agency leading U.S. relief efforts in the Bahamas describes what they're seeing as looking like, quote, nuclear bombs were dropped. So far, about $4 million in U.S. international aid has been announced just for the basics, like food and water and shelter. So the death toll now stands at 45, but of course that is expected to rise.
On Monday night, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu revealing what he says are new secrets from Iran's nuclear archive.
In this site, Iran conducted experiments to develop nuclear weapons.
And calling once again on the international community to follow the lead of President Donald Trump and sanction Iran.
The only way to stop Iran's march to the bomb and its aggression in the region is pressure, pressure, and more pressure.
The revelation, produced with visual aids, was something the embattled Israeli leader had promised for weeks. Though not nearly as dramatic as back in May 2018,
Iran lied
when Netanyahu revealed Israel had stolen Iran's nuclear archive in a primetime presentation. The only catch? Analysts say none of this information is a game changer. The signatories to the nuclear deal knew about it for years. The IAEA said there was no new evidence of any work on nuclear weapons after 2009, and experts say none of what Netanyahu showed off Monday night shows Iran violating the deal.
I think it's pretty underwhelming. What you would really need is a site that was active in the recent period in order to suggest that Iran wasn't complying with its commitments. And, you know, we've seen a few pictures, but we are really far from that at this moment.
Still, Trump said last year's presentation by Netanyahu was part of the reason he decided to leave the Iran nuclear deal.
This disastrous deal.
And that was a win for Netanyahu.
What we see is a consistent pattern of Iranian lies, deception, and violations.
Critics say Israel's Mr. Security is looking for another win in a tough election a week away. His rivals slammed the statement as electioneering. On Twitter, Netanyahu's opponent in next week's election, Benny Gantz, said Netanyahu's use of sensitive security information for propaganda indicates poor judgment, saying even in his last days as prime minister, Netanyahu cares only about Netanyahu. If Netanyahu's goal here was also to try to prevent a meeting between Trump and Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, that appears to have failed, Trump indicating he'd be willing to meet Rouhani. In fact, Trump didn't really give a response to Netanyahu's presentation of information from the nuclear archive. Who did respond? Iran's foreign minister, Javad Zarif, who fired away on Twitter saying the possessor of real nukes cries wolf on an alleged demolished site in Iran. Oren Lieberman, CNN, Jerusalem.
2020 is essentially just as important because they'll try and take it away, whether it has to do with religion. Our evangelicals are here tonight and they're all over the place. And what we've done for them and for religion is so important. You know, the other side, I don't think they're big believers. They're not big believers in religion, that I can tell you. You listen to some of them. They're trying to put out little statements. They're not working too well. Those statements are a little bit sort of not too good, huh? What is the word we want to use here? A little... Now,